Right, we are live. Good morning, traders and investors. What a week we had, and what a day we have. Yes, had yesterday in the markets. Just take a look at this. Accepting the biggest AI players, and that is NVDA and AMD. Everything was up. Also, Netflix was down. So let's take a look at what happened in the market and what will happen probably today in the market. And also, we're going to talk about a couple of trade setups. We're going to take a look at the major players there in the market that we are currently looking at. My microphone, let me just reset this just a second. Technical problems, technical issues. The live stream is pretty new, so please bear with me on the live stream. Try to figure out how how this is the best fit for you. So let's jump into it. Today we have durable goods coming up just in a couple of minutes, like a couple of hours. We still have 2.5 hours till they come out. I'm doing the before the bell segment right there on Wealtham a little bit earlier today because I have to leave and attend a couple of meetings. I have to dress up nice. Okay, so let's go on with the market. So durable goods coming out today, expected 0.3, prior was 2.9. Let's see what happens. This will not influence the stock market that much. And then we're pretty much clear for this week. We have nothing else this week. We also have holidays. We have Thanksgiving. But the next week, we have right on Monday the ISM manufacturing PMI. Then on Tuesday, we have nothing. On Wednesday, we have ISM services PMI. On Thursday, we have nothing, and on Friday, we have the core PCE, Michigan manufacturing, Michigan consumer sentiment, and the personal income PPI. And so on. So pre-packed week next week in the markets. Now, let's take a look at the major indices here. So the S&P futures, let's look at charts. S&P future pointing higher. Just take a look at my diagram here. This is wrong. Is it? I don't know. I still think we're going to still retest this and not just go higher. But after that, we're going to go higher. I'm pretty much sure on that. There's no major news in the markets that could trigger another sell-off. But hey, nobody can predict them. Okay, so moving on. I have to go a little down here because my arm is broken. My microphone arm, that is. Okay, so S&P looking great. It's poised to open even higher, 0.31% up today before the bell. The Nasdaq also wants to open higher. Really, really good action there in the market. So yesterday we closed on the Dow Jones at 471, but the futures are pointing higher, 472 on the Dow Jones. Also, the Russell 2000, go away cat, is in an uptrend, moving upwards nicely there. The DAX also had a really good day, but now it's kind of keep giving everything back. Just does not want to leave the 20-day moving average. Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX is currently up a bit. Stay down, VIX. We're going to talk really, really slowly here. So VIX, please stay down. Don't get excited. We had 2 major days there in the VIX, one in October, one in November. Please stay low, VIX, please. And the dollar index also going down, which is good-ish. Now we're currently sitting at 99.82 with the dollar index. Oil having a retracement exactly as I predicted. Oil still in the downtrend. I have a little strangle here on oil, so I would love this to go up and down and expire worthless. That's the strangle. Gold, look at gold going upwards exactly as predicted. Is going to come back down again. That's another buying opportunity somewhere between the 20 and the 50-day moving average. Moving on to silver, moving higher here. Silver also, just let it go a little bit higher. If you have a trade on, take some profits, add them back down here between the 20 and the 50-day moving average. Copper, the same thing. Now let's take a look at euro dollar. Obviously, reverse on the dollar. The euro is now moving upwards. The dollar is coming down. Same thing. British pound, same thing. Japanese yen. The dollar is weakening in the front of the Japanese yen. Moving on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still selling off here, which is good for my trade because I have a leap, and that means I'm selling. Whoa, sorry about that. I'm selling calls against that leap. Same thing on Ethereum, not the same thing that I'm selling calls against it, but Ethereum also moving down. So this is kind of a risk-off trade. So I don't know. You should be careful there in the markets today, especially because we're moving into Thanksgiving, and who knows, maybe we're not going to see. Microphone is still moving down. I'm going to hold it. Maybe we are not going to see a Thanksgiving rally, but after that, the books are open. So let's move on now. Two charts here. Eli Lilly is killing me. Eli Lilly up there in the nosebleed seats. It just does not want to come down. Currently at a 86.9 RSI, which is all-time highs RSI for Eli Lilly. So it has never, ever, 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 ever reached that level. How hard can it fall from here? I have no idea. But take a look at this line. The 940 is where I prefer Eli Lilly to come down for me to finally close my two spread sells there on the calls. So I'm bleeding. I'm currently down $3,000 something. That's just bleeding money. Okay, so Eli Lilly, what a trade. Should you add to Eli Lilly here? Now, as it currently, the MACD has tried to come down. This is where my hope went up and that it died because the MACD, as you can see here, again, pointed upwards for whatever reason. So Eli Lilly, hanging in there, does not want to come down, and it's killing me. Do you want to add to this trade right now? I would caution you not to do so, but that's the same thing that I told you right here, and I was wrong. So do whatever you want, but I wouldn't add to Eli Lilly because I want it to come down. Everybody sell Eli Lilly right now. And moving on to SoFi. Check out SoFi. Currently hitting that 25-day moving average. Up there, the blue line, 25-day moving average. The two, change the color on the Behringer here because they are also blue. So I need to change it. I'm going to change it later on. SoFi looking very good between two moving averages. It's currently pointing higher. Selling puts underneath the Bollinger Band, underneath of 24 would be a great opportunity to not be assigned, hopefully. So I would only do this on this week, but I don't think you're going to get that good of price options right now. Quickly take a look at here at SoFi. Oop, come up there. Come up. Perfect. SoFi, let's take a look at on the weekly. So we have 2 days left, getting 18 cents for $418 of buying power. Not that good of a trade. Moving out to the monthlies. I think this is much better. Well, you're not getting anything good right now because you would need to, so let's see here on the monthly. So 23 days left till expiration. This is much better. $62, putting up $245 with the risk of being assigned at $24.5 a share. Not that bad. That's not that risky of a trade. But I would wait for a red day here in SoFi. Moving on to the next one, which is Google. Still up there. In the pre-market, Google is up. I'm still expecting that this is going to continue on reaching some kind of nosebleed ranges here in the RSI. RSI currently is 67. No trades here for me for Google. Moving on to Meta. For disclosure, Basa Meta down here. Delicious. Meta is currently triggered a MACD buy signal moving upwards. Meta is in a good trend, but you know what? Let's wait for a retest here on Meta. And let's see if, let me just check here something. If Meta is able, wait, just a second. Okay, that's it. Technical difficulties. Still learning this entire live stream. If Meta holds and just bounces around here, that is a great opportunity to add some long-term meta. Moving on to Microsoft, I think this is it for Microsoft. If it manages to stay around, because it just hit the 200-day moving average. So everybody who thought that's it, it's over, Microsoft, too late, you cannot get into the trade once more. This is it. This is the opportunity. RSI oversold, bouncing off of RSI. It's currently at 32. MACD is trying to trigger here sell signal. Pretty good opportunity to take in some long-term meta shares at 479, probably 480 when it opens. Microsoft, what a buy. Moving on to something that we are expecting to be a buy, and that is NVDA. I have on NVIDIA a leap, or I'm playing leaps on NVIDIA. Bought shares sometime, somewhere out in the future, selling calls against them. I didn't buy shares, I bought the call, a deep in the money call. So my hopes are that NVIDIA goes down, because it can go down. It has a lot of room to test this 200-day moving average. And there is where I would buy some NVIDIA like crazy. Okay, the NVIDIA story is not over. Don't think that the NVIDIA story is over. It's a powerful company. Buying NVIDIA right here, it still has room to go. Let this puppy roll down and let it give us better opportunities. Moving on to Tesla. Tesla had a couple of beautiful days in the market. Should you short Tesla here? I wouldn't do so. I would wait for Tesla to have a retest of its lows, and if it bounces back, then I would add to Tesla. Moving on to Uber. I'm not going to tell you what I did on Uber, because you have to go to my Substack and check that one out. But Uber perfectly reached its 200-day moving average, went on the oversold RSI at 28. Currently, MACD is in a sell signal. In the futures, it's in the pre-market, it's currently pointing upward. Let's see what Uber does here. If you want to buy Uber here, just nibble on it. I think it's a good buying opportunity. But what do I know? I'm not a financial advisor. Come on, guys. I'm just a YouTuber, but I'm here to build and protect wealth. So I'm going to do my best to analyze these stocks on a technical and fundamental level at my best powers. So make the best decisions. Moving on to TSMC. No trade for me here. Let TSMC come down. Let it prove itself. If it goes up, then good riddance. It would have been a good buying opportunity, but I would let TSMC cool down here. Moving on to AMD. AMD down in the pre-markets, just like NVIDIA. Everybody's suffering the NVIDIA syndrome, because the next leg up is, for the moment, the story is the memory chips. But they are really, how should I explain this? So the GPUs that NVIDIA, or the racks that NVIDIA builds, are general purpose. What Broadcom builds are specific purpose TPUs, okay? So the story is, what do we want to have? Inference or more processing power? That's the story here. Currently, inference is winning. That is why Broadcom is up and Google is up, and this is why NVIDIA is losing, and also all of the chip manufacturers. Now moving on to Apple, which just wants to go up. Apple is trying to prove us. Also, the MACD is triggering here a buy signal. Wants to go over, is not oversold. Do not sell Apple if you own it right here. Let it go berserkers and then take some profits. And last but not least, Zoom has had its earnings. We're going to do a special video on Zoom. And take a look at Zoom. Went up there and then came back down, but it went up into the 90 levels. Long term, this company is zooming away from us. I think this is a perfect setup for a long term. So if it comes down again, tests is middle range here, which it should. Buy some Zoom. I'm going to be buying some Zoom. And that's it for today. I'm Robert Magnard. I build and protect wealth and health right here on Wealth Down. Like and subscribe. Catch you next time or the Before the Bell edition. I'm going to release a video later on about 3 major AI stocks that are out there waiting for you. If you think you missed the AI trend, the AI rocket that just went on the last couple of years, you did not check out those stocks. See you later and